Good morning. I'll do my best to get through this video. Don't have much of a voice today, but here we go. So look at your directions. You must plot 5 points, including vertex and roots. So let's start with the vertex. Remember, to find the vertex, our vertex is h comma k, where h is your x value, k is your y value. So first thing we need to do is find our h. Remember, h equals negative b over 2a. So we're going to do h equals the opposite of negative 2 over 2 times negative 1. So that's 2 over negative 2, which is equal to negative 1. So our h is negative 1. So to find our k, we plug negative 1 back into the original problem. So the opposite of negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1 plus 8. That'll give us our vertex. So this is the opposite of 1 plus 2 plus 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. So that's my k. So our vertex is the ordered pair 1 comma negative 1 comma 9. Okay, so we would go to negative 1. We would go up to 9. And we would put an ordered pair right there. Now, this next one that I'm going to do is one that's not going to work for every single problem, but it does work for this one. Remember, if we plug in 0 for x and it's in standard form, then this becomes our y-intercept. So that would be the next one that I would choose. And remember, because this is a parabola, it's going to be symmetrical. So if we go to the right one and down one to find our y-intercept, then the same is true on the opposite side of our curve, on the opposite side of our vertex. So from here, you really have two choices. Option number 1 is to make a table of values of x and y's with our vertex in the middle, negative 1, 9, and going forwards and backwards until we get our roots, which our roots are going to be when our y's equal 0. That's going to take a lot of time for this particular problem, or maybe not a lot of time. You could do that, or we could look and see if we could factor this. So I'm going to factor this really quickly. First thing I notice is all of my leading coefficients negative, so I'm going to factor out that negative, and basically I'm just going to flip all my signs. Then from here, a times c is negative 8. Factors of negative 8, that would add to give me positive 2, would be negative 1, positive 8, negative 2, positive 4. So these are my factors. All right, so what we said is going to be x minus 2, x plus 4. We set each one of those equal to 0. So x equals positive 2, and then x plus 4 equal to 0 is x equals negative 4. So then those would be my two roots. So right here and right here. So those are our roots, our x-intercepts. Okay, and then I could connect those with the curve. Okay? So here is the official screenshot of how this should end up looking. Here's our vertex. Here's our vertex. Here's our y-intercept. And then here are our two roots. There's our parabola. Those are our 5 points. Remember, it's going to be symmetrical. If you want to find your roots first, just remember your vertex is going to be right in the middle. All right, so if I found my roots first, my vertex is going to be in the middle of these. All right, so I would go to the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units in between those two. So that means my vertex is going to be 3 units from either root. So 1, 2, 3. Here's my axis of symmetry. 1, 2, 3. My axis of symmetry coming from both ends. And then once you know that your x is negative 1, then you could just plug that back in and find your y value. All right, hope this helps.